Well, when I accepted the offer to come here and be in this space with you during this time of transition, I considered our relationships with one another and the work that we could undertake together and how I could support you as you move toward your congregation's future. I thought a lot about the dynamics of change in churches and what the possibilities might be. And obviously I decided it sounded pretty exciting because I'm here this morning. I'm looking forward to our time together. And I also know that not all of us think about change and new possibilities in the same way. Some people find this milestone in congregational life exciting, and some come at it with just a little bit of dread. Things will change. Things will change. Who knows what we can create? We like things the way they are. There's so much opportunity. There are too many things going on. All of us, at one time or another, can be in either of those places, all at once. Everyone will have their experience and their response and their reaction. And our commitment as a people of faith is to stay in loving covenant as we co-create and build the future of this church community. You have been impacted by the departure of beloved ministers. So one of my goals is to get to know you and help you get to know me. As part of the process, I'm pretty sure you're going to discover that I am not Sean or Lynn. I like to think I bring my own set of experiences, unique as they are, my perspectives and skills, that will offer a calm and caring leadership you can rely on during this time of uncertainty for kindness and integrity and an open-hearted embrace. Hopefully, your continued search for an interim minister will be fruitful, and the time that I'm with you will be a period of exploration and community building and deepening your faith. A new presence in the pulpit provides a wealth of opportunity and possibility. How are we going to communicate and learn together? What will we learn about the plans and strategies for addressing your faith and service priorities within this community and outside the walls of the church as we work together? Will we find strategies to resolve any differences and create consensus for moving forward? Well, that's what we're going to hope for. I will support your leadership to craft plans for moving forward toward your desired future and taking action to get there. In shared ministry, we'll create a space to share ideas and build some leadership capacity and find the energy to believe in your dreams for what this community of faith can become. I'm going to ask questions, and I'm going to offer suggestions. I will listen and reflect back to you your strengths and your successes. I am going to encourage you to become even more so beacons of Unitarian Universalism for each other, but also for the community at large. One thing you can expect from me is that I bring a love of Unitarian Universalism. Because I have committed myself to this faith, because I have found a saving message in our principles and values, I'm going to encourage you to actively engage your own faith, to go deeper into your own beliefs and to live your life more fully from that place deep inside your being. To witness the joy and fulfillment that this faith journey has brought to your life, to incorporate learning from your sorrows and trials and triumphs into the story of who you are, of who we are as a community. Sometimes changes come quickly and easily, and sometimes it takes much more prolonged consideration. I know that sometimes, especially as Unitarian Universalists, we like to talk about stuff a long time. And you can get tired in the middle of the process, and you get impatient for results. It can be hard to remain in covenantal relationship when things get a little heated. Emotions get triggered. People make mistakes. And then in our faith community. They ask for forgiveness, and they need us to help them be forgiven. That's what church is about. How do we honor our bonds and connections to one another and find our way forward when we disagree or we have differing views of what that future might be? It's not just within the confines of this community. I think that it can seem sometimes like there is so much in life that is in a state of flux and uncertainty, environmentally, interpersonally, economically, politically. It just goes on and on. What we rely on in uncertain times are the people with whom we are in relationship, those people that we know we can rely on for companionship and for conversation, for witness to each other's lives, and for perspective. One of the great blessings of community is to have company for the journey. We show each other that we are each important, each a contributor to the whole, each a precious gift, even when we may disagree or we have a bad day. What we do here is practice. Practice and practice and practice again. We practice with being one another. We practice learning what it means to be human, so that we hope we can be more effective in being in the community out there. And I know change is easier when you don't have to make it alone. There are others around to share the load, and some have made the journey before. As they say, for some of you, this transition is not your first rodeo. You can help guide the process. You can help witness to how change works. You can be there and tell each other, this too shall pass and we will get through it. Some of you are younger and may have energy to be encouraging and enthusiastic. Some of you probably think very creatively, and you can help find new ways to reach those destinations. Some have wisdom from journeys past that you can share. Some like to listen, some like to sing, and some like to make coffee. Everyone has something that they can contribute, which reminds me that you have an opportunity to find out about ways that you might choose to contribute after our service this morning, because the volunteer fair is going to be happening out in the foyer. There's goodies, and you get a chance to find out what kinds of volunteer roles there are that support the work of this congregation. And I bet there's something there that would use your talents perfectly. I know sometimes when you're thinking about replacing ministers and buying a building and moving into a building and being in an interim space and trying to deal with money, well, change can seem quite intimidating. There's so much that's unknown, and we can fall into fretting about whether we will be able to handle it, or if we'll be made uncomfortable at some point, or if we, God forbid, using that colloquially, we might fail. No transition happens without discomfort, because making change always takes us out of our comfort zone. New ways of thinking and doing and acting and speaking will require us to stretch some new muscles of our being. It takes practice and repetition to get those new muscles limbered up and working well. And the only way we ever change is by experiencing that discomfort and staying the course. So, from today, let's go forth together into that unknown. I know things will shift and change, and some things, fortunately, will get to stay the same. Some things will come as a surprise, and others are not going to be unfamiliar to you at all. Together, let's hold hands, face the future, comforted and championed by our companions on the journey. Blessed be.